All right, this is bulk versus individual tin for a hot main meal. What I have in front of me right now is a pan-seared salmon that's being topped with a little bit of feta olive tapenade, a little bit of light cream and lemon sauce, confetti rice, and some steamed asparagus. Got a garnish kit with it also. Let's talk about how we're gonna do this in bulk format. In order to do this in bulk format, we need to put each individual component in its own tin. This is due to sometimes the flight attendants have enough flight time that they can actually plate things on board, or they have enough space on board and they want to do multiple services. It all depends on what the flight attendant has going on. So we're going to bulk this entree right now as if it was a full bulk item for a flight attendant on a flight. First thing I have my salmon pan-seared, and I have it wrapped up in parchment paper. The reason for this is that because the salmon is tender, and this gives the flight attendant the ability to pull it out unbroken out of the tin, wrapped up in parchment paper. I have 4 portions of this for this flight. So I'm going to put my 4 portions of my salmon in 2 pans. It's important not to crowd the pan. It makes it easier for the flight attendant to pull the product out of it without it breaking. So I have my salmon in my pan, and what I'm going to do now is I'm simply going to add my sauce to the pan for my salmon. Next, after my protein and sauce, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my rice confetti. It's 4 portions of salmon, therefore I'm going to have 4 portions of the confetti rice. After adding the rice, it's very important that we add just a little bit of vegetable stock to the rice to ensure that the rice steams as it's cooked. The next step is I'm going to take my asparagus, and I'm going to add my asparagus to the last bulk pan. 4 portions of asparagus for 4 portions of salmon. Once I have my salmon in there, it's very important that we add a little bit of butter to it so that when the flight attendant heats this up, that butter will melt in there and give it a great flavor. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to provide this bulk packaging for these 4 portions of salmon. We're going to provide the flight attendant with the key tool to make her successful, and that tool is a garnish kit. Every main course entree that we do that goes to a flight attendant definitely needs to have something for her or him to garnish the tray with. What I have here is I have some lemon wedges, I have some fresh parsley, and I have some popcorn capers. I also have the feta olive tapenade, in which for this, I would simply scoop it up, put it into a container, and add this container to the garnish kit. Once that is done, the entire meal going bulk would appear like that. Now we have our 4 orders of salmon panned up and ready to go in our bulk pans. Now we need to let the flight crews know what the items are, how to prepare them, and how long to prepare them. That's why we use these instructional stickers for our flight attendant guests. We will write on these stickers how many portions are in each container, what the item is, and what series of it. This would be a series of 5, 1 of 5, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 5. And then I'll start with the salmon. The salmon we'll cook at 275, and we'll cook it for 20 minutes, and we'll cook it with the lid on. Made the notes on the piece of paper. I will add it to our bulk lid. And now we're going to do individual tin. So again, this time I'm going to put my salmon in my paper to one side. I'm going to take my confetti rice. Add enough for 1 portion for the main course. Now I added my rice. I'm going to touch it up with a little bit of vegetable stock so that rice will steam up very nice in there. I'll add my 1 portion of my steamed asparagus to the pan. And then I'm going to add my sauce. And this would be bulk 10 of the same entree. In order for the flight crew to be successful in their mission and for them to provide great service to their clients, we need to give them the tools to be able to, enhance the dish and make it look really nice and appealing. In order to do that, we need to provide them with the tools to garnish the plate. So what I have here is I have a nice garnish kit, little half lemon, some fresh parsley, some caper berries, and a little olive feta tapenade for your salmon. Proper packaging of the meals for our guests to perform on board is extremely important. If they don't have the right tools and they don't have the right setup, it causes angst for them, causes storage issues, it causes service issue, timing issues. There's a lot of things that we can impact a flight or we can impact our guests with if we're not setting them up for success. Plating these things like they require, depending on the length of their time or the number of crew members they have on board or what they're trying to execute, is our job to make them look great and make them look fantastic in the job that they're doing. Everything from plating it in bulk like we did first to individual tin like this. Our job is to make sure that we're providing our flight crews and our team members that are out there that are flying the best possible experience that they can have to execute at the highest level that they're expected to execute at.